Hello, Bulldog fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm John McAfoose as we take a look at the cross-country teams today, and I'm joined first by head coach Chad Ballio. Coach, appreciate you being here, and I'd love to start just by asking you about your Samford experience so far. It's your first year with the Bulldogs, came from Furman University where you were an assistant for cross-country and track and field. Just talk about the transition to Samford so far.
Yeah, so this is the start of my 8th week, and so far so good. Getting to know the team, getting to know where to train, the environment, the resources that we've had here have been pretty incredible. I'm really excited to jump in, and so far things have been off to a pretty smooth start. So hit the ground running. We didn't, cross country in the fall. Got in, got moved, and got to work. So it's been fun.
When you get to a new environment like that and you're inheriting a brand new team, what's kind of the process behind getting to know all the runners on the men's and the women's side?
Sure. Started off making individual phone calls to each and every athlete. Obviously, a big thing where I'm coming from and what I really am a believer in is individual training. So talking to each student athlete about kind of where they have been and where they want to go was important, and those conversations were held early on. And then once I got into Birmingham, getting to meet everybody, doing individual meetings, having that first team meeting, and it felt like you really get one shot to really set a tone, from a culture perspective early on, and we did that during our preseason camp, which was, I thought, pretty smooth, and ended up heading out to Mississippi College for the first race a couple days afterwards, and that went relatively well. I thought we showed some real good poise, packing up together early on in that race. Dylan Dean ended up winning his first individual race, and Cheyenne Mallory, she was also individual champion. So having to win that race was important, and overall, competed really well and took home the men's title. And the women were second. So got off to a really good start, which was good.
You got another meet this weekend, the Jacksonville State Foothills Invitational, and then, believe it or not, SoCon Championships just a month away already. Just talk about kind of what you expect for the rest of the season and come championship time.
Sure. So Jacksonville State, I think, will be a good opportunity for us to be able to see a little bit more of the front of the race, practice going out hard, but finding teammates early on and using each other to push each other to faster times. Looking forward to SoCon. The goal is always to show up championship season ready to race your best races. And I think the team, both men and women, have a very realistic shot to be top 2. So that's the clear team goal. It's going to take a really great race, both men and women, for us to do that. But that's what we're working towards. I think from a training perspective, how our student athletes handle the next 4 weeks from a balance standpoint, handling academics and athletics is going to be the big difference between whether or not we're able to be second or we end up 4th. So I'm challenging the team to make sure that we're perfect away from practice, and really excited for the Southern Conference Championships.
Coach, appreciate you coming by today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's cross-country head coach Chad Ballio. Stay tuned. We've still got an interview with men's cross-country runner Dylan Dean coming up in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Sam Pritchard, and this is the Samford Sports Minute. The men's golf team participated in the Shoal Creek Invitational this week and placed 13th. They're off next week, but play again on October 8th and 9th right here in Birmingham in the Jerry Pate Intercollegiate. The women's golf team kicked off its season in the Boston College Tournament with an 11th place finish. They head to Ponte Vedra Beach next week to take part in the Jacksonville Classic. Cross country had a week off, but head to Oxford to participate in the JSU Foothills Invitational this weekend. Football fell to Chattanooga over the weekend 27-20. The Bulldogs remain on the road this week and will look to bounce back against the 4th-ranked team in the country, Kennesaw State, on Saturday night. Soccer had a strong start to SoCon play, beating the Citadel 2-0 on Friday and tying Mercer 2-2 on Sunday. They're headed out of town to continue conference play this weekend, facing Furman on Friday and Wofford on Sunday. Volleyball also had a great start to SoCon play, defeating Furman 3-1 on Friday and Wofford by the same score on Saturday. They travel to ETSU and UNCG this weekend. And finally, the women's tennis team starts up this weekend, participating in the Samford Fall Hidden Duel Friday through Sunday right here at Samford. I'm Sam Pritchard, and this has been your Samford Sports Minute.
Welcome back to the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm joined now by men's cross-country runner Dylan Dean. Dylan, thanks for being here. And I talked to your coach about transitioning to a new program and getting to know all of you guys as individuals. And on the flip side, it's kind of the same deal for you, getting used to a new head coach. What's that process been like for you?
Well, thank you for having us. It's been very good. At first I thought it was going to be difficult. I just didn't know how that transition would be, but it's really been great. Coach Ballio, he's a great personal guy. He's easy to talk to and easy to get to know. I think we've gotten close over just this 8 weeks, and it's been very easy. I think he's going to be a great asset to the team. He came in at a time that we needed him, and I think him coming in and taking control and really getting a good culture going for the team is going to be a great thing, especially this year and going into the years after.
You guys lost a couple of key pieces, but a lot of returners, a lot of upperclassmen, kind of a veteran-laden team. Now that you're a junior, do you see yourself kind of developing into more of a leadership role this season?
I do. I think so. I think, after our Coach Missouri, he was a fifth year my freshman year, he was a very, spoken-out leader, and everybody looked up to him. And now that we have, him as a coach and all those guys that looked up to him as upperclassmen now, there's a couple of, certain individual leaders, and I do think I am one of those. But we really try to focus, that top 5 guys, not trying to, let somebody's ego be over one other, and just, trying to work together as leaders instead of having just one head honcho leader that's trying to control the team. It's everybody brings a different personality to the team, and we try to, make that into a good team and a good culture.
You guys have had some success early on in the season, both as a team and you individually. The men's team wins the Mississippi College Opener, and you have a first-place finish in that meet as well. Talk about preparation-wise, where you see yourself at this point in the season.
I think we're at a good spot this season, personally and as a team. I think, we did have a very good start at Mississippi College. It wasn't a crazy deep field, so it didn't surprise me at all that, I won, or we as a team won. We went 1-2, and then had our top 5 guys within that top 15, which is why we won. And that's a great start as a team. Everybody's working together. Everybody's doing good. We followed what Coach told us to do, the plan going into the race, and we executed. And same with the Vandy Commodore Classic. We went in, we executed what Coach told us to do, and we had a good place finish as a team. And personally, I think I did pretty good. There's still room for improvement. Right now, as an individual, I'm just trying to get a little bit more fit each week, so that by the time that conference comes around, that's whenever I'll be in peak performance to race a good conference championship and a good regional championship 2 weeks after.
Yeah, when that point rolls around, what are kind of your goals and expectations for that SoCon championship meet?
My goals at the least is to be in the top 14, but mostly overall is to try to be in that top 7, which is all SoCon, and try to break up Furman, which has been the dominating distance team for the past few years in the SoCon.
Finally, I got to ask you about the mustache. How much attention do you get from that from the other guys and Coach?
I think Coach loves it. Whenever I came in and he saw it, he kind of was like, "Man, that's a dirty mustache." And then it's kind of just taken over. We've had some people grow out their mustaches for some of the other races, and it's something that is obviously not the prettiest thing. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but I think it brings a good kind of mojo to the team, and it gives you something to laugh about, and I think everybody likes it. It's not, it's just something fun to do whenever you're doing a bunch of mileage, and it's been a grind lately. So,
Dylan, appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks to Dylan Dean and cross-country head coach Chad Ballio for joining us on this edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm John McAfee, and we'll see you next week.